Hey, I'm Cameron.
I'm Christian.
And I'm Megan, and this is Super Lilly Bros.
We're a Let's Play channel where we just kind of hang out, talk about life, or talk about whatever the heck we feel like talking about. And today we are playing Metroid Prime Remastered, baby! Woohoo!
I for one am exceptionally excited to play the greatest game. I gotta stop doing that, man.
Why do you do that specifically on the Metroid episodes?
I am not gonna speak in any more intros ever again. On the bright side, we have some Metroid bread.
Did you just say Metroid bread?
Is this Metroid bread? I can't remember.
So tell us.
It's a really good game. No matter what I say,
I really love the LGBTQ themes.
I'm sorry, everyone. I was just trying to throw a compliment out.
Hey, look, I'm watching our subscriber count go down right now.
Metroid, do it on a dime.
Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna say this is the greatest game of all time.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I actually finished that. But that's literally it.
You did not successfully complete that sentence.
I can't say normal words.
Uh-huh.
I can say whole sentences, but if it comes to the most simple words, I always find a way to screw it up.
You really blew it. Let me tell you. I also am very excited to play this game. I have played this before with your direction because despite the fact that I really want to enjoy Metroid Prime, I have literally no sense of direction whatsoever.
I'm a little bit too tied to this game. This is one of those games we were talking about in Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
We try to pick a game where we can just go through it.
Yeah.
If I can't blindly just get through this game, I can't do it with anything. I am unhealthily addicted to this game.
Oh.
I think I've talked about this before,
Mm-hmm.
but I've played this game. I've had 3 copies of this game before.
Well, didn't you have a disc that was broken? So you
I had 2.
You had 2 so what happened with that again?
I think I mentioned this on a past episode.
Uh-huh.
But I had a disc that broke.
Uh-huh.
I got to like a certain part in the game and that disc broke. And then I got another disc from a friend.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, here's a working disc now. And then I got further in the game and that disc broke. And when I say broke,
Wow.
I mean it froze at a certain point in the game. So like an arcade game, I got to a certain point.
No.
And then I couldn't go any further, so I played the crap out of that section of the game.
So you got your doctorate in the first third of
I have
Metroid Prime.
a mental capacity. Like a third of my game is a third of my brain is dedicated to this specific game and the inner workings of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that, dude. Okay, we were talking about this before, but oh, that's so epic.
Whoa, look
at
at
her go.
Samus.
Ooh. And it feels like an update to Super Metroid where she comes out of the ship and you're like, oh, she looks cool, but now in 3D.
Yeah, I personally don't think the original game, I'm the most biased person in the world, but I personally don't think the original game really needed it all that much.
Yeah.
But now that they did, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, they didn't need this. I have 3 copies of Twilight Princess. I don't need... As soon as they release it on Switch, day one, I will be the first person in line paying money.
This is just one of those games in my life where it's what if they remaster it again in 3 years, I'll probably somehow find an excuse to get it.
If they start The Last of Us in Metroid Prime, you'll be good.
Yeah, that was me with Skyward Sword. Right?
Oh, yeah, you had just beat Skyward Sword before we bought it again.
Yeah, and then the remaster came out. I'm like, of course we're going to get it and play it again.
Yeah.
Well, that game added a lot more actual features, right?
I just want to point out that we are 5 minutes into this episode. We've already brought up Skyward Sword.
Thanks, Megan.
You're welcome.
I don't know what it is. We talk about a lot of things on this channel. Cupcakes and Mario. How many Mario games are there? But there is one thing that we cannot seem to stay away from, and that is...
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Megan, have you ever actually shared your personal feelings on Skyward Sword?
Not on your channel, I don't think.
I don't know.
It's the best game ever. It holds you by your hand linear, but for some reason I really can. It doesn't take it away from me at all.
Hey, look, we lost another subscriber.
You're not going to be saying that after you see this game.
Yeah, I absolutely, like, it's hard for me with this because, like, gosh, that Space Pirate looks cool. Like, I fully believe when we played this, when I played this for the first time 2 years ago, all right, I think one of the first things I said was, how is this a GameCube game? This, like, if you told me that this came out today, I'd believe you. I'd think it was a cheap game, but I would think, whoa, like this is a good game. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you put both of them side to side, this one is like going to be like clearly like, oh my gosh, that's clearly like super old. It's 20 years old. Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you were just to play it, I don't think you'd be like, oh, this looks terrible. You just kind of like be playing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's just one of those ageless things that just looked good.
It aged really well, which is weird because normally 3D graphics from that era, unless they were cel shaded or had some other super specific art style, looked like poopy doo doo.
Yeah, I mean, if you take literally any other game from that same, what was it, like 2002, something like that?
Yeah, that time. Sure.
I bet you I'm exactly right.
All right. Let's see. Let's see.
I think I've brought this up, but I'm really good with knowing like years.
What year did Metroid Prime come out originally on the GameCube?
Should have put money on this.
2002.
Let's freaking go.
2002.
Who'd I tell?
All right. Okay.
What were you even doing in 2002? Were you born yet?
Memorizing this entire game. Actually, I would think I was like 2 or 3. Maybe.
Yeah, you were 3 years old when this game came out.
Yeah, see, the thing about this game, because I remember growing up, like when we were like really young, I was actually not like super into video games like you. Mm-hmm. I didn't really care about video games like at all. When we were like really, really little.
I did not know that.
Well, you remember like you had like the GameCube, you had like a DS.
Yeah.
And I would watch you play.
Yeah.
When we were like really young.
Yeah.
And then eventually I think I got like a DS for Christmas or something.
Yeah.
And my like original reaction is like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with it? I did not care about video games.
Huh.
But eventually I ended up borrowing this game from a friend, and this was like the first game that like I had.
Really?
I like
spoke
played.
to him.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, this is just one of the games I like fell in love with like immediately.
See, so this was your Super Mario Bros. 3. Like,
yeah.
Super Mario Bros. 3 for me was the game that like made me like, okay, I think I'd like to play all the video games now.
Mine was probably Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
it's always a Nintendo game.
You had 2 intros into the gaming world, Megan. You had Super Mario World growing up, but you had kind of given up on games.
That's true.
And then it was Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild got you back in.
It did.
Yeah. Every time I think I'm gonna escape, they just pull me back.
And now I say, like, Christian was talking about how he is obsessed unhealthily with this game, and it makes me think of a game that's like that for me. And for me, it is Hollow Knight. I am so obsessed with that game. I will listen to. That's the game that got me into watching. Well, that's not true actually, but one of the Metroid games is the one that got me into
Super
watching
Metroid
speed runs.
Yeah. I showed you a Super Metroid. I
now,
showed you a Super Metroid speedrun thinking that you'd be like, oh, okay. And then you, like, watched it, and then you watched, like, 30 more, and then you were like, are there any Hollow Knight ones? And then you started watching those, and now you're like...
Yeah, now I watch Hollow Knight gamer podcasts, and, like, anybody who's...
that exists.
Yes.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and I watch...
it's a very enthusiastic
I watch a lot
base.
I watch a lot of playthroughs, and Hollow Knight has a bunch of secrets. Kind of like Breath of the Wild. Like, did you know this? Did you notice this? And it gets into lore. Anyways.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight's like, I'll never be able to consume enough Hollow Knight content. I'll never be able to play that game enough times.
I'm never going to be able to understand that. I like the game. I don't understand, like, that level of intrigue with.
Yeah, for
Hollow.
Christian, I got him that game for Christmas.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I want to
swear I
share
like
it with
it,
somebody.
Meagan.
Cameron cannot stand that game.
I hate that game so much. It's a really good game in a lot of ways, but it's specifically designed to annoy me. It's got a lot of the, hey, would you like an enemy to attack you from behind where you're not expecting it? Would you like them to do it again? Oh, you died. Guess what? You lost all your money, and you're gonna have to travel 3 billion miles away to get your ghost. I don't have a lot of patience for that stuff. I play games that are for little tiny babies, and then I find games and I if I have an easy mode, I crank it all the way up to easy.
You play games for babies on easy mode.
On easy mode.
I've never heard of that impulse in people before until we were talking about it last time, where you like have absolutely no desire for challenge. I beat that in record time. And I think it was on accident.
You weren't even paying attention.
You saw me looking at you.
Yeah, you were
eye
looking.
contact with you.
Christian and I were having very intimate eye contact
you,
while
I
you
am-
destroyed that.
On a very unhealthy level.
I don't think
that
you had
boss
both
looked
of your
cool.
hands on the controller for the whole time of that boss.
I don't think I fully like processed what you were saying more in my life.
Or maybe you'd be better at games if you listened to your brother.
Yeah, we're the opposites. You can't focus, and I can only focus
Yeah.
if I have Metroid Prime playing in the back. My dopamine receptors are at the highest
This
level.
is a serious problem for you. I understand that you weren't able to pass college until you started playing Metroid Prime while doing your homework.
I probably won't be able to pay attention to the birth of my first son
Unless you're
I have.
playing this game.
Hey, honey. Yeah, you're doing fine. Go on, fight the parasite queen. It's fine.
I need this.
I need this.
If
It's all about you, huh? Well, what about me?
if you can't understand this, I don't know if this relationship's gonna work out.
Yeah. I was probably meant to bring this up a while ago, but I have this thing.
You know how I was playing Metroid Prime during our wedding?
I have to fill out the logbook.
Well, this might be too embarrassing, but it reminds me of when I told Cameron we were pregnant for the first time.
Is this a story?
Do you remember what you did?
Oh, I remember. I remember exactly
Can
what
I tell
did.
the story?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure.
Oh, I mean, not the whole story, but basically I found out I was pregnant, and I tell Cameron right away as soon as he gets home, and then he just kind of walks away and starts playing video games for like 2 hours.
So that made you very happy?
I fully shut down. Everything in my body was like, there is no earthly way that we can sire a child into reality and not absolutely ruin him forever. And it took me a little while for my brain to process that. So I was like,
Well, what did you play?
I played the messenger.
The best?
I
I don't
really
even know what that is.
I really want to play that game on this channel. It's really good, but it's But yeah, I couldn't handle the idea of having a kid, so Meagan was like jumping up and down and laughing and so excited, and I was like, I need a minute.
You were in
Yeah.
one of those edits where you're like in a movie, you're just walking around, just like.
No, literally, like they were playing like Dust in the Wind, and I was walking around in slow motion thinking about things, like. Because I mean, it's just one of those things when you realize you're pregnant. It's not like getting married where you decide ahead of time and make a choice, and like then if at any point before the marriage you want to, you can like take away that, like you have a lot of.
Yeah, technically you could even get divorced afterwards.
You can get divorced out, but like once you've brought the child into existence, your life is different. And unless you want to be an astronomically awful person and abandon your child, you don't have a choice. That's your life now. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of in this. Oh, Ridley!
Whoa, Ridley looks cool! Look at Ridley!
These graphics, man.
Wow, they have all the graphics. Look at all the graphics.
Look at these 5 frames per second.
Okay, but seriously, look at that. That is so cool.
Let's just do this for the rest of the playthrough. Ooh.
Have y'all seen Cameron? Did you notice her face reflection?
Yeah.
Now that's insane. That you can see her face reflecting in her mask.
It was one of the
Sometimes.
big things that people were highlighting when they first started playing this game.
Oh, was it?
You know what's crazy? That's not even an update.
Well, no, they had the reflection. They compared the old reflection to the new reflection.
Yeah.
And the old reflection was amazing, but it looks like nothing compared to this one.
Yeah.
Like, this one looks like a real human person inside of a real...
But what's crazy is all the stuff that you would think, like, oh, they added, like, you know, reflection, or
Yeah.
like the rain on her helmet, like, all this stuff that's like, oh, that's such a cool detail. That was all in the original, like, the GameCube version.
Is this whole playthrough going to consist of us saying that looks cool and you saying, no, that wasn't the original, it was awesome? Is that
I'm gonna buy a pair of glasses and push them up.
Well, actually, if you know in the original Metroid Prime Beta...
you know the crazy thing? I haven't played this game, like, through in, like, 10 years or something like that.
Really?
It has been in... Like, I honestly haven't really thought about this game until they announced the remaster recently. I'm pretty sure Obama was still in office the last time I played this game through.
Wow. That is kind of crazy.
I did it so many times in a row that it's like riding a bike. Honestly.
The thing is, it's like... I tried to say this earlier, then we went on a full-on tangent, but, like, the original game looked really good.
Oh, yeah.
And having played that, I thought, this will never need a remake. I just need this to be ported, because it holds up,
Yeah.
you know? Watching this game in real life, holy cow, this is astronomically better.
Well, it's crazy to me how little they had to change to update this to, like, modern times.
It just looks so good. Look at those leaves!
Wow.
I can see all the
It
leaves!
looks so
Oh!
Ooh.
Ah!
Look at those branches. Look at that water.
Well, so many graphics.
It
like, you
does
see all the
remind
graphics.
me of Dread a lot. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear more about your thoughts about Dread in the next episode of Super Lilly Bros when we play more Metroid Prime Remastered. You know what to do.
And if you don't,
ask
ask someone.
someone.